In Part 2, Chapter 52 of Don Quixote, Don Quixote is eager to leave the Duke and Duchess's castle and get back to the life of a true knight-errant. Before he can leave, Doña Rodriguez approaches him once more, this time dressed in full mourning, and pleads with him to challenge the farmer who refuses to marry your daughter. Don Quixote agrees, noting that he is temporarily revoking his noble status to fight a common man. The page returns with letters from Teresa Panza, Sancho's wife, for the Duchess and Sancho. Teresa wants to come to court and show off, making her husband even more well-known than he already is. Sancho Panza's letter to Don Quixote arrives and is read aloud. In Part 2, Chapter 53, Sancho Panza is awakened in the middle of the night to the sounds of war. He's roused from his bed and spends the entirety of the fake battle hiding between two shields as he's trampled by pranksters. Upon being told that the enemy has been vanquished, he dresses himself and goes to the stables to get his donkey. He's done governing. He heads back to the Duke and Duchess's castle. In Part 2, Chapter 54, Don Quixote prepares for battle against the farmer, not realizing that the Duke and Duchess have arranged for one of their footmen to take his place. Sancho Panza, meanwhile, meets an old friend on the road. Ricote the Moor was a neighbor of Sancho's before the king forced all the Moors to leave Spain. Ricote wants to return to Spain and asks Sancho Panza to help him find the treasure he buried before he left the country, promising $200 for Sancho's troubles. Sancho Panza passes on the opportunity. In Part 2, Chapter 55, Sancho Panza is almost back to the castle when night falls, and he and his donkey tumble into a 20-foot hole. Sancho finds an opening in the stone walls and walks until he sees light. Above ground, Don Quixote, practicing his battle tactics, hears Sancho's call. Sancho Panza and the donkey are pulled out of the cave, and Sancho explains to the Duke and Duchess why his governorship was so brief. He is promised a less strenuous post on the estate. Sancho Panza's decision reflects the tension in Spain during the time of the Inquisition, a government body tasked with identifying and punishing people who didn't practice Catholicism.